If you were in the sub $10,000 price point, 12K is probably not what you need. What's going on, guys? I'm Yashai, this is FireFace Films, and today we're talking about Blackmagic's insane price drop on the Ursa Cine 12K. But before we do, make sure you drop a like, get subscribed, and click that bell to get notified when we post. All right, on with the show. Okay, guys, this is insane. So Blackmagic just dropped the price of the Ursa Cine 12K down from $15,000 to $7,000, but there's some caveats and trade-offs there, so we're gonna get into that. So let's talk about what the base original package of the Ursa Cine 12K is. So in that $15,000 package, you're getting the top handle, the base plate, and the battery pack. So like you can actually slide on a B-mount battery. And if you spend the extra, I believe, $1,200, you get the EVF. That brings it up to about $16,000 or $17,000. But, right, so this base model is the body only. So it is no base plate, no battery plate, no top handle, and it comes with a locking EF mount instead of a PL mount, which is certainly interesting. So that's what you're kind of trading off here when you go down from that $15,000 price point to the $7,000 price point. And it's very interesting, right? The way I kind of take this is it's really opening up the option and the possibility to get extremely high quality footage in the sub $10,000 price point. Like now we have capabilities that you did not before. Like this camera is in an entirely different league than every other camera in the sub $10,000 price point. And now everyone else is probably gonna have to scramble to accommodate that. It's like how Red just dropped the prices of the Komodo and Komodo X to get more competitive, and now Blackmagic just shattered what they're doing. Granted, Komodo and Komodo X, they're Super 35, they're global shutter, they're a different form factor, and they're kind of for similar use cases. Yes, they're cinema cameras, but different form factor, different builds. So now, who knows what they're gonna do? Are they gonna drop even further to try and compensate to go against that, or are they gonna stay the same? I mean, now we're looking at the C80. This is about the same price as that, if not cheaper. I believe they were in spinning distance. I got the prices right here. And yeah, so this sub $10,000 price point is massively shaken up. Now, I'm gonna give you kind of an idea, a kind of take about what's going on with the price point and what it means and like the stuff that you're giving up, right? So with the EF mount, honestly, that's not the worst thing because a lot of people have EF mounts. That was the standard for a long time. If you want the PL, it's like about another $400 to get the PL mount. So that's no big deal. And then the no battery plate, here's the thing. You're gonna have to cough up and get a B-mount plate because the camera will have limited functionality if you're not using B-mount batteries to get like the full voltage out of it. So yeah, B-mount battery is gonna be a must, but also very cheap. The B-mount plate is $99. So you're spending $7,000, what's another $100? And then the CF Express module over the 8TB SSD module. Now, this I think is one of the biggest deals because the CF Express module, as far as I'm aware, you cannot get the full data rate out of a CF Express card to record 12K, at least in the highest data rate. And maybe in some of the lower compressions, you might be able to, but if you want to go to the max, I'm pretty sure you're gonna need that SSD module. Now, I really struggle to think that if you're in the sub 10K price point, you need that 12K. What I really think this is more aimed towards if you want the extreme quality 4K, 6K, and 8K that you can get out of this camera, which CF Express module and those appropriate speed cards are gonna work very well for. And you also still have the option later down the line to get the 8TB SSD model. So this is really a good entry point into this system so that you can grow with it. If you only need 4K, 6K, 8K, you use that CF Express module and it's fine. If the day comes that you need 12K, then boom, you get the SSD module and you shoot up to 12K and boom, now you have everything that you need. And by the way, we know the great specs of this camera. 12K open gate up to, I think, like 120 FPS. It's amazing. It's kind of my hot take that if you were in the sub $10,000 price point, 12K is probably not what you need. You do want the great quality 4K, 6K, and 8K that is trading blows with the Alexa LF. Like Cine D and CVP, and everyone has independently tested this now. This camera trades blows with the Alexa LF for a tenth of the price. It was already a great value when it was at full price, and now it's even lower. So it's unfathomable how great of a value we have now. Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that we're shooting the FX6 and I have needs that are autofocus related and low light related, then yeah, I would absolutely consider that. And that's the thing too. People say that low light performance is a big deal, but here's the thing. If you are working with this camera, you are lighting your sets. There is absolutely no way that you're pulling out the Ursa 12K and you are not lighting your sets to where you need to be able to go up to 12,800 ISO. No, you are in super controlled environments and you will be able to light this camera appropriately. So another thing that's very interesting now is that this camera is only $700 more expensive than the Ursa Mini 12K. So that makes me think, will they drop the price of the Ursa Mini 12K any further? And then will this also further bump down the price of the Ursa Mini Pro 4.6K? Because if that's the case, that's going to even further like open up possibilities to get into a more professional workflow with these kinds of cameras. So I can't imagine, I seriously cannot imagine that if the Ursa Cine base model is this price point, that the other models do not go down further. It's kind of like what just happened last year with the Pixis being announced and about to release, and then the Cinema Camera 6K, which is, you know, the same sensor in the pocket form factor, went down by 40%. And I don't foresee something like that happening where the price goes down and goes back up like it did with the Cinema Camera 6K. I would be shocked, but I really don't think so, because Blackmagic's pitch on this is that you get this camera and put on the accessories that you already have, which is great. And speaking of those accessories, it's very interesting. I just learned this yesterday, that if you were to buy the Ursa base model and all the first party accessories that come in the regular package, you'd only be spending $12,000 instead of the $15,000 if you bought it together. So usually it's the flip side, where it's cheaper to buy it as a kit and it's more expensive to buy it separately. Strange choice, but I'm not complaining. I don't think anybody else is going to complain. Now, there is one thing that I really wish was possible, but it doesn't seem to be, is that it would be very, very interesting if a mirrorless mount was ever made for this camera. Like in the same way that the Venice and all the Sony cameras all have an E-mount underneath the PL, if they had found a way to incorporate a mirrorless mount so that you could attach some kind of speed booster and get, like, you know, large format with Hasselblad lenses and, you know, speed boost that form factor, like I kind of talked about with Cinema Camera 6K a while ago, link right here, basically explaining that concept. But if the same thing with the Ursa Cine 12K, where if you speed boost that sensor, now you have the larger field of view plus 12K resolution, because obviously we all know that they're targeting IMAX with this kind of system, especially with the Ursa Cine 17K, which that camera's, based on what's going on here, shaping up to be pretty amazing. But if it ever happened, they're like a Ursa Cine 12K G2 with a mirrorless mount, that would be sick. Like, all I gotta do is steal Sony's idea, where it's an L mount underneath a PL mount, so where you can take off the PL mount and speed boost that, and then boom, you've got crazy possibility to make stuff happen. My mind is just buzzing with the possibilities, because I've seen footage. Somebody had sent me a video not long after I made that video talking about speed boosting the Cinema Camera 6K, that they did that exact thing, and it looks amazing. If I can find that link, I'm going to drop it in the description. You guys have to see what that looks like. Speed boosting a full frame sensor into that larger field of view really makes that IMAX feeling happen, and it's amazing. So I hope Blackmagic does something like that on the Ursa Cine 12K G2, which it's gonna happen who knows how long from now. We gotta stay in the hype zone for the current what's coming out right now, which this is awesome. Because ultimately though, I do see this as a great step in the direction of democratizing better film technology, film camera technology for smaller budgets. We all know that film budgets are getting smaller and smaller. They want you to do more and more with less. And at this kind of price point, it stands above most of its competition. This is kind of a hot take too. With a camera like this, what would the purpose serve of going with something like a V-Raptor, right? Because granted, You have red code RAW, and that's 16-bit true linear RAW. But I really think that this camera, if it's competing with the Alexa LF, can can blow the V-Raptor out of the water in terms of sheer performance. Like, it's got on par dynamic range. It's got fantastic color science. Blackmagic Gen 5 color science is amazing. We know that. And you've got 12K open gate. That's more resolution and field of view than any Red camera has. Red has never done an open gate camera. Who knows? Maybe that might be their next move under Nikon. We'll see, but that's a whole different speculation. Ultimately, though, this Ursa Cine 12K at this $7,000 price point is a fantastic move to get better technology in the hands of filmmakers to enhance their story and, you know, deliver a better product. That's what it's all about. Oh, yes, this is very exciting times. Tell me your thoughts about this price drop. Does it make you feel like you want to get an Ursa Cine 12K? I know it kind of makes me want to now that it's even more in reach. Like, granted, I have the FX6. That camera is extremely overkill for what I've got going on, but it's such a fantastic, like, thing to strive for. It's not like an Alexa or a Venice where it's tens of thousands of dollars, nearly $100,000, and it feels somewhat unattainable. This is true cinema level quality at a price that most filmmakers can afford, right? Tell me about what your thoughts on that is. And yeah, guys, that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed what you saw here. I hope that you're excited for what's going on in film technology. It's only January and we're already starting off with a bang. So who knows what's going to happen the rest of the year. I know I'm excited. I hear Panasonic's got something going on. Hopefully S1H Mark II, something or other. Yeah, all of this is very exciting. Gear nerds, we're eating this year. Gear nerds are going to eat this year, and I can't wait. It's going to be very fun. But yeah, guys, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.